Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Arknights Prelude to Dawn, episode 6. Normally, episode 6 would mark the halfway point of the season, but alas, this one is just 8 episodes long, so this is already 3/4 done. 75% done. Besides this one, we will only have 2 more episodes to go. Now, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Because, well, I guess, yeah, because the next arc just wouldn't fit into 4 episodes. So it's either rush the next arc or not finish the next arc, or make this season 8 episodes and then turn the next arc into like 12 episodes or 8 episodes itself. They're gonna figure something out for sure. This episode is a little bit late. As a word of explanation, if you haven't seen the community post I made, I had a bit of an emergency. The faucet in my shower broke, and I had to go out, get a new one, replace this one, fill with valves and stuff like that. And that kind of took my entire yesterday. Well, not entire, but by the time I was done, I was too tired to record anything. So here it is, right here, right now, today. Regardless, let's talk about what happened in the previous episode and what happened, really. Not particularly much is what happened. We met face to face with Skull Shatterer. Skull Shatterer, right? Not, yeah, Skull Shatterer. Crown Slayer is the hooded one. Skull Shatterer has the gas mask. Okay, yeah, we met face to face with Skull Shatterer. We ran around on some buildings, and we met Texas Anexia from Penguin Logistics. And that about sums up the previous episode. There wasn't particularly much of substance to it, unfortunately. It served to establish Misha's character, I guess, a little bit. Not even her character, but rather her, I don't know, her line of thinking. The way she's questioning why do infected have to fight infected, right? It also helped establish Rhodes Island a little firmer in the world, give them a firm position, right? Like ideology-wise, that they are the harsh truth kind of company, not the sweet lies kind of company or group, I guess you could say, because a Reunion isn't a company, and they very much subscribe to the philosophy of giving people sweet lies. So that's like the big difference between them, and explains why so many people do decide to join a Reunion and are apprehensive at best when it comes to joining Rhodes Island. Anything else of importance? We established that Misha is getting slowly but surely a little bit friendlier and friendlier towards Amiya. She's more trusting, and everything is headed towards a potentially good end. We don't know what LGD's plans are towards Misha, so that's something that can rain on our parade at any given moment. And yeah, that's it. There was a bunch of running on the rooftops, couple of fight scenes, and a whole lot of talking with not really much that stuck. To be perfectly honest with you, I wanted to say something. What did I wanted to say? Something about this still being a better Right, right. That I keep talking that it's a better adaptation, or rather, it's a better medium to convey the story than a static light novel, kinetic novel, really, text just scrolling on the screen. And in one sense, it is indeed because we can actually see the actions, we can actually see the scenography, we can actually see what's going on and hear what's going on, right? As opposed to just static sprites and lines and lines of text. On the other hand, though, the original way of showing the story allows your imagination to run. And some of those events, some of those encounters um, are kind of better portrayed in my imagination back when I was reading the story than they are portrayed here. This anime still cuts down on content quite severely at times, but it's hard to judge it, because for someone who plays Arknights a whole lot, uh, it's good because it's another piece of medium in the franchise that I like, and that's always fine. That's always fun, and it's not like horrible quality by no means. So it's already a step above most other gacha adaptations. But it's hard for me to judge it from the standpoint of an anime only. How much does this anime stand on its own merit and not just on the merit of the franchise, right? Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to rate it or grade it or whatever. But yeah, I strayed away, of course. We were talking about the previous episode, and now we should talk about this episode, right? We need to see it to see if maybe things get better, maybe things get worse. I don't know. Maybe the action's gonna be superb. Maybe the dialogue is gonna be a little bit cut down. Maybe, who knows? We're gonna have to watch it, and to do that, you're gonna need your subs. I'm gonna need my sound, and I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Monetary, if you're willing. Patreon, throw links in the description, and if not, hey, you can support the channel completely free by sharing my content, spreading the word. Costs you nothing, helps the channel. And now, with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 6 of Arknights Prelude to Dawn in 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, Crown Slayer. Hello, Talula. Watching Langman. But, right, you are gonna lose plenty of people. Perhaps even the people who matter. Wei Yin-Wu's tower. It's a pretty butterfly. Oh. Oh. uh, Speaking to yourself, are we? My first and immediate association was the scene where Kana in Dragon Maid, there's a butterfly that lands on her finger and she just chomps on it and eats it. Uh, I was waiting for Talula to do the same, I'm gonna be honest with you. But no, she just burned it instead. Okay. That scene with Crown Slayer I do not recognize though. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Maybe it's something they brought from later on in the story? I don't know. I haven't finished the Lungman arc yet, so maybe it's something from beyond that point. Kind of hard to play the story stages when there's an event after an event after an event, and then there's a rerun and the event and the rerun, and Jesus, I'm waiting for a contingency contract so that I can just ignore it and play the story again. And hello, Chen. It's an explanation. There's a difference between an excuse and an explanation. Right, I read something interesting about this anime that apparently it's been recorded in like surround sound, like 5.1 or something, or mastered in 5.1. Probably not gonna happen. Or maybe. Okay. I mean, in a sense, sure you can trust her. Give her a shot of the anti-oripathy serum, just in case. I'm gonna be honest, that's another scene I don't remember from the game. I love the detail of there not being a sound of a combustion engine. There are no combustion vehicles in Rhodes Island, in Terra. Everything is powered by Originium. Oh, and they were just hiding in the shadows. Just tax evasion. No, it's not Exia. It's Ambriel who's doing tax evasion. I really want Exia now. So many people I've seen Head Girl as their first 6-star pool. Mine was Angelina. Okay, so they've already secured their, I don't know, existence in the slums. Establish their presence, that's what I wanted to say. Not secure their existence. What the fuck I was talking about? That's a good question. Yeah, I'm still not sure what the deal with that is. Okay. Okay. That's spelled out a little more than it was in the game. From what I recall from the game, it was just, oh, it's your father. That's about it. I mean, she is a dragon lady. She's a. I don't know if she's a Draco or a Lunga. I think she's a Draco. Yep. A bureaucrat to a fault. Someone said protect and serve, she's gonna protect and serve even the infected. Oh, that's a grenade. That's a frag. W, hello. Best cockroach is here. Even on the rooftops. And hello, Skull Shatterer. Showing up in the flesh. Again with that rhetoric. I mean, she's not incorrect there. She's not incorrect. She's absolutely not incorrect. Okay, music swelling up. We're gonna see some action, or just casually throwing grenades. Just blowing up buildings. So very W of her. Yeah, that's Oripathy for you. Oripathy acting up. And Misha is no longer here. Crossbow bolts from the rooftops. And just gonna rappel herself up? Indeed. Yeah, Reunion has the advantage of numbers. Talura? Talura. When you hear there's only one of them that can hold up an entire force, it's gotta be Talula. Oh, Cruz, hello. I didn't know Cruz was involved in this operation. Although no, we did see a bunch of them, of the A2 squad and Lava on those like catwalks when they were panning through Langmen in like 2 episodes back or so. They delayed you. They established. They achieved what they needed to achieve. It's Misha. Indeed. Should have sent at least a couple of operators with them, not just Chen alone. The Lungman is burning. Hello, Hoshiguma. Translated as Lungman slang. Thank you. Thank you, that's what I wanted to know. Amazing subs, 10 out of 10. They're just taking her away, essentially. Doesn't matter much where. So that she doesn't get. I mean, you're working together right now. So them knowing. Yeah, exactly. You can't like work on the same operation without having the same intel. The height difference. Kelsey? I mean, Amiya is basically Kelsey's adoptive daughter, so it makes sense. Probably not. Probably not much. True. Can't give them any assets. We don't know why they want to take control of that particular fountain, but the fact that they want to take control of it means we have to protect it. Same goes for Misha. We don't know why she's so necessary for the reunion. But the fact that she is means we're not gonna give her away. Eh, I wouldn't go that as far as saying sharing responsibility. Misha was under Chen's protection alone. Riots in the streets already. Hasn't been very common that we see attacks actually connect. This episode actually has a lot of attacks that connect. I can appreciate that. Who's that? Hoshi? No, Chen. That calls for an AoE caster. Hello, Hoshi. Right on time. Best girl is here. With her fidget spinner of a shield. And Amiya is just a turret on the rooftop. I mean, it's Tadula we're talking about. She probably had no interest in you. She still refuses to come home. I know she's not the best of the defenders. She's been power crept by Madrock and soon enough by Penance. But I do very much still want Hoshiguma. Good enough. I mean, it is a plan. Yeah. An annihilation, you could even say. Oh, this is gonna be a meme. This frame of Amiya showing her phone, that's gonna be a meme. It's gonna get green screened, and people are gonna be putting all sorts of things there. It's probably happening as we speak. Old Chen. Hara. You fucking tsundere, you. I love Franca. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. That was a great episode. That was like genuinely good episode. Had some action. The action was actually decent. The attacks would actually like connect, and you could see the impact on people. So hey, that's a plus compared to other action scenes from past episodes. There wasn't like too much just sitting around and talking. A good balance of like talking and action. So hey, they are like, I know how to say it. Uh, I guess they're getting used to the new medium. I guess you could say that. And because the studio that makes it usually makes just shorts and trailers that aren't longer than like 5 minutes, so making a full 24-minute long episode is a whole different beast, and they are like finding their way slowly but surely. Yeah, that was an enjoyable watch for sure. And how about now we watch it again, shall we? Since it was this enjoyable. But before that, one more thing I have to say. Uh, one more reason why I appreciate this episode is it filled the gaps in my understanding of the story yet again. That's something many of the episodes of this anime do have in common. But this one in particular, the way I remember the story from the game, it's we save Misha from the reunion, and we're running on the rooftops, and then suddenly Misha is no longer with us, and we are conducting a rescue operation. That's essentially how I remember it. I don't remember the meeting with Chen. I don't remember Hoshiguma uh, being a character up until the rescue operation. So, yeah, it really fills the gaps. I don't know what the gaps were caused by. Maybe by the presentation of the story in the game being so god fucking boring and dull that I just don't remember any of that. Maybe because it was genuinely never shown, or maybe because it was shown and it was said, but it was said in a way that Shakespeare himself wouldn't scoff at, with, so many different, unique, and newly created words that it sounds just like a word salad and not a story, which is something very common in particularly early Arknights stories. I guess except Granny and the Knight's Treasure, it was the first event, and the dialogue and the text was actually good there, so I didn't mind that one. But yeah, whatever the case might be, right? Whatever the case might be, uh, it still did help me understand the story of the game much better. So I appreciate it for doing that. And now we can go to watching it again, as I said. This is another scene that I have absolutely no recollection of. Skull Shatterer, Crown Slayer meeting up with Talula on some wasteland overlooking Lungmen. And Talula speaking to a butterfly and then burning that butterfly and referring to herself in third person. None of that I recall. Also, the thing you see in the distance, again, to drive the point of just how absolutely massive the mobile cities are, the landships are. This is Longman. Those are like skyscrapers on top. Like, those are skyscrapers. And this entire thing, that's not a plateau, that's a moving platform. a combination of a couple of them, most probably, but it's still like a moving, mobile fucking city, right? Now that I look at it, I wonder what's going on in this, like, this layer. Uh, right? In this layer. Is there something there? Or is it just full of service areas for refining Originium into fuel, waste disposal, water filtration, stuff like that? Because you could fit like 3 more Longmans in those layers, size wise. I think we did get a glimpse on that in the Nerl Light PV. I think so. In the animated short where Sona, Redtail, uh, and then Margaret also fight against Platinum. Yeah, in that one, it looks like there are pipes all around. It seems like some sort of an industrial uh, basement area, so maybe that's taking place in the depths of Kazimierz. I don't know. I'm not sure. If there are any like lore nerds of Arknights, do let me know what's going on in the depths of the city, because I don't know. And I would like to know. I remember Girls und Panzer when, for the first time, they went from the top into the depths of their academy ships. That was cool. I really did. I really did like it. Uh, yeah, it's something that's fairly rarely utilized. I noticed whenever there is a story that has a moving city or a moving country or a moving village or whatever, it's just the country, the city, the village that we focus on, and not the moving platform part that it's set on top. I think it's only, I'm not sure because I haven't seen the. I don't even know if it's a movie or if it's a series. The Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I think that's what it's called. I've seen the GIF, a couple of GIFs of like people in the mechanical area doing some mechanical stuff. So that makes me believe that series might show the guts of the moving fortress or flying fortress or whatever it was. Maybe I'm conflating multiple different series. I've no clue. But yeah, I'm always interested in learning about the guts of those like huge, humongous constructs rather than just those constructs themselves. Taking a long one will be beneficial. It's too risky. Why? Because I want to make them pay. Just, just that. There's no more reason to that. We have lost all pretense of, oh, Reunion is doing it for a higher goal. No, they just want to burn shit down to get revenge. That's the essence of it. They're not even giving the infected a better life. There's no substance behind the promise. It's not like there are reunion camps for the severely infected. Now you're infected, you go to the front lines, right? It kind of loses all pretense of being for the benefit of the infected, if you ask me. Amiya is already in the span of this series. She's already growing a little bit stronger as a leader. She's learning to stand up for herself ever so slightly. I was afraid in this scene that they're gonna use force on Misha, and that everybody's gonna be like, oh no, why did we give them Misha? They're gonna treat her like shit now. No, it's not the case. Chen is a big softie inside. Could you teach me how to make the dolls? I'm afraid Misha is already on her way out, so to speak. Maybe not entirely, but the fact that she's like constantly weakened and sweaty and has an Oripathy attack when running from W, those are not good signs that she got to that point in a week. I'm not sure even Rhodes Island can do much for her. We don't have a choice but to trust them. Trust them. That much is true. Nexia hiding from law enforcement because of course she would be. Because of course she's the kind of a person who'd be hiding instinctively from the police. Not even that she did anything, just the prospect of maybe I did. Yeah. Continue investigating reunion. I really do enjoy Texas and Nexia in this show. I do have Texas, so I do know a little bit of her demeanor and stuff, but this anime really emphasizes on that cool personality. I'm not even sure if there is any dere to that cool dere, but there's a ton of cool. And Exia being the manic pixie girl is, again, makes me wish I had her. But alas, the roles were not in my favor. This is something I briefly touched upon. The fact that there is no sound of a combustion engine. There's just the sound of tires on the road, but there is no like vrooming of the engine. I read Originium Dust, Operation Originium Dust recently. It's a collab with Rainbow Six. Yes, that Rainbow Six figures, with Tachanka and Ash and Frost and all those characters there. And it had a surprising amount of lore behind it, behind how Originium works, how anything works. There is not really a concept of combustion on Terra. Or should I say explosive combustion? Um, Cars don't work with combustion engines because combustion engine doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a combustion engine. They operate using Originium engines, so essentially kind of sort of electrical, which makes sense why they don't make a sound. Guns, you might have noticed that Liskarm is using a gun. Well, it doesn't use black powder or any sort of combustion propulsion. It's essentially a miniature magic wand powered by Originium that has a spell engraved in it, so to speak, that propels shards of metal forward. And if you have affinity for arts, you can use that wand to propel pieces of metal. You give it some of your energy, mana, quote unquote, your arts, you trigger it with your arts, and it shoots. That's how it works. That's why all you see are single shot weapons, because every shot from a weapon is casting a separate spell. There's a different kind of a weapon where the weapon itself is pretty much just an inert launcher, and it's the bullet that has like a meticulously crafted Originium circuit within it, and it's the bullet itself that has both a piece of Originium for power and the whole circuitry to cast the spell, quote unquote, so that it's the inverse. Instead of shooting pieces of metal out of a magic wand, you shoot magic wands out of a piece of metal. But that allows even people with no arts affinity to use guns. Of course, driving the cost up because meticulously crafted bullets. Uh, and then there is Exia. Tidbit about Exia. and about her race of she's a Sancta, a race of angels, gun worshipping angels, essentially. They have very particular, as a race, they have a very particular arts affinity where their arts aren't maybe as strong as the other races, but they have much more control over them. That's why everybody there uses guns. Because they just can, and it's easier for them than for other races. Exia, in particular, uses. Does she use two of them or a single one? I don't know. But she uses a full auto. It's basically an SMG. And she can shoot it at SMG speeds. In burst, but still. Remember that every singular shot, singular bullet leaving the chamber is casting a separate spell. So she's machine gun casting spells, essentially. Exia is great. I really do love Exia. Meanwhile, Liskarm, as you could see, has a single shot pistol, right? Boom, boom, boom. Fireball, 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 essentially. It's your father, who was Chernobog's most renowned scientist. Reunion wants to get their hands on his daughter. Why? We don't know. But the fact that you are precious to Reunion means you are precious, period. So we're not going to give up a potentially valuable asset to our enemies. We'd rather keep it to ourselves. Makes perfect sense. Kids in the slums told me about you. They said there was a dragon lady who was always helping them, and the facade of a harsh and hard-assed bureaucrat of a law enforcement officer is slowly but surely chipping away when it comes to Chen. I do like it. It feels weird that it's just a single episode that's essentially spent on chipping away that rocky exterior of her. Sorry. Would have probably been better if they started in the previous episode, or if they continued in the next one, but it's a minor gripe, really. But yeah, here we start with slowly like chipping away at Chen, and it culminates in Hoshiguma just being out about it that, oh yeah, Chen was speaking really highly of you actually. Keep taking care of her. Lungman doesn't recognize the infected of the slums dweller as citizens. That said, I'm always willing to do my job. Indeed. It's not for you, Baka. It's because I do my job. That slow-mo grenade shot is cool. And here's W. She also has a full autogun and a lot of explosives. She has a full autogun for different reasons than Exia, though. She has a full autogun because she was originally a girl's frontline design. That's why she has a gun. I'm not sure I've seen her shoot it once. She's just using explosives. All the time, every time she appears in the game, she just uses explosives. I think that rifle is just an accessory to her. That said, I haven't read Dark Knight's Memoir. Yeah, Dark Knight's Memoir is the story event that's focused on W. Haven't read that yet, so no spoilers. Maybe she did use her rifle there. Stereo sound. And this is cool. Just tiptoeing around the bullets. Also must be super scared of the bullets because it's not something you meet with every day. That's why everybody uses machetes and crossbows and bows. How did they get so many inside the city? They were already there. As sleeper agents, essentially, and who wasn't there was recruited. You would have zero problem recruiting for Reunion inside of Lungman slums. that's the reality of it. No, I thought I clicked something bad, but no. Skull Shatterer going all crazy with the stance with double grenade launchers, super wide stance, down low, crossed legs. It's an interesting stance for sure. You will pay for the lives of our brethren with your blood. Well, you shouldn't be throwing your brethren into a meat grinder. How does that sound? Of course, Amiya is perfectly correct here. You are the first to hate. You heard the first innocent. You did the Chernobog. You have no right to talk about being treated harshly. Like, my dude, it's like a bully at school hitting some kid, right? And then the kid swings back, and the bully is suddenly crying in the corner. Oh, how could you? Oh, he hit me! He hit me! Right? It's the exact same thing. Reunion just raided a city, destroyed it, killed however many innocents. Then a couple of Reunion goons die, and Skull Shatterer is here like, how dare you kill our people? Ah. Doctor, please take command. He didn't even pull out his phone. A bit more combat. Throwing some rubble. And it's not often that we actually see hits connect in Arknights. Or rather, in the early episodes, it was the case, but in the recent episodes, it was a bit of a pain point during any action scenes, any combat scenes. It very often wouldn't feel like the hits or shots or whatever would connect. Not helped by the fact that every swing would be a shot of the character swinging first, then a blink to the shot of another character protecting themselves, then a shot to a to that character falling down, not even to their blood being spilled, just falling down. No moment of connection, just implication, 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 implication. Figure out what's happening yourself. I know the reason is most probably Chinese censorship. Fuck the CCP, fuck Xi Jinping, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. But it doesn't change the fact that it didn't feel great watching action that has no action. Not necessarily, but you get what I mean, right? You get what I mean. This time around, though, there are actually some crossbow bolts that embed themselves in someone's body. There are kicks and punches and slashes with a weapon that never leave any open wounds, but whatever, that actually connect and actually exist in world. Blowing up a building as a distraction just casually. That's W. Acute Oripathy attack. Right? Here's a kick that connected. I don't know where it connected, but it connected. Here's a slash that connected. Yeah, the action in this episode actually is fine. Not mind blowing, not like Fate levels of animated combat, but which anime can afford Fate levels of animated combat, right? But still, better than what we had, for sure. Hoshi is delayed by Tarura. More connecting hits. Well, kinda. That was a bit of a floaty jump, but whatever. And yeah, that's Cruz and Lava. Yeah, Cruz and Lava. I thought it was Hibiscus, but no, it's Lava. Her sister, twin sister, so easy to. Uh, Not really. They look different. Yeah, that's Lava. With her dagger, I never really paid attention to the fact that she's a splash caster, AoE caster with a dagger. But yeah, she does have a dagger in her art, doesn't she? They retreated so quickly because they have achieved their goal of destructing you. Misha has been taken, so they don't need to be there anymore. Hoshiguma, being an absolute fortress of a badass that she is. Misha's been taken, and we will retake her. While we're looking for Misha, this is some very good points that Amiya is making. Langman isn't giving us any information. We're supposed to be working on this whole operation together, right? So we kind of need the same information, or at least the majority of it. We at least need to know what the fuck is going on here. We can't. You can't possibly call it a joint operation if we aren't, like, joined. Duh. Misha's father, famous scientific and an important political figure. We don't know what Misha knows, what she doesn't know. But Reunion wants her, so that means they can't get her. Honest gal, I'm just trying to fulfill my responsibilities. Indeed. Rhodes Island shares responsibility too. In hindsight, kinda, because they should have sent a couple of operators with Chen. Because in that convoy, it was just Chen and a bunch of random goons. If Chen had Franka and Liskarm, for example, with her, things might have gone better. On the other, Chen would probably deny their involvement. And she would have gone alone anyway, so it wouldn't have made that much of a difference, if any. We'll eliminate the reunion threat. Indeed, a very simple plan. Kill the reunion. You see a white mask, you kill. Our goal is achieved when there are no more white masks. Simple. Who needs a better plan, right? Just extermination. Annihilation, if you will. You're gonna get some random for doing that. Oh, see? This is what I meant by, in the previous episode's hits, not connecting. Okay, rewind. It's just a random scene of a dude flying into a wall. Who kicked him? Who punched him? I don't know. Might have been a human, but in case human hitting human is too controversial, let's just say he just threw himself backwards. My throat is getting super dry for some reason. Try to keep the damage to a minimum. Don't you dare think Lungman is just going to let you trash the place. You're thrashing the place so far, Chen. Of course, Frank and Liskarm efficient as always. Interesting that Cruz and Lava aren't with them. It's just a bunch of unnamed operators. And here's best girl Hoshiguma charging with the shield. I sometimes wish there was some movement in the game. Some. I'm not talking like, fully being able to move your characters around, but at least have, I don't know, a skill of some ranged operator that has a long cooldown or chargers or something, and you can use that skill to reposition them so that you don't have to retreat them and then redeploy them. You can just reposition them without redeploying. Or in this case, having a defender who, using a skill, charges forward. Charges like, I don't know, three, for example, 3 or 4 grids forward and then comes back. Or, something like that. To show like this, give Hoshiguma this skill, for example. Yeah, Hoshiguma can appreciate help. She's not like Chen. The enemy was exceptionally powerful indeed. Tallulah herself, after all. Thank you very much for your help earlier. What's the plan? We'll find every single reunion group and crush them. Simple enough. This is gonna be a meme. If it already isn't, it's gonna be. I have no doubt about it. The LGD. Yeah, I can't read it. Nope, can't read it. Too small font. While we wait for news, we'll also engage reunion in the slums and search for Misha. Yeah, while we're waiting for information about when Misha is, let's just go on a hunt and kill some reunion goons. Some solid leadership. I can see why old Chen sung your praises. Busted. Hara. No, so it's not complete without holding the elbow. Hara. I'm gonna have to level up Franca. I love Franca. Franca and Liscar, their dynamics is very similar to Texas and Exia, and I enjoy both of them. Looks like our inspector's got a cute side to her. Have you seen her during the Solis holiday? She does. We'll get her back. Indeed. Okay, that's about it. And that's it for episode 6 of Arknights Prelude to Dawn. It was good. It was good. Like, genuinely. Genuinely good. The previous episodes, earlier episodes, not all of them, but some of them, had me worried that the quality might be dropping a little and that the pacing might be kind of off because it was a lot of talking and a lot of dialogue and a lot of talking and a lot of exchanging sentences and a lot of monologuing and a lot of speaking words in some order and a lot of just words, with a little bits and pieces of action that didn't always work all that well. This episode kind of fixes that, at least in my eyes. We did have a little bit of talking, a little bit of repeated information because we learned that Reunion wants Misha because Misha is the daughter of some scientist like 3 separate times within this episode. I think we could have done with just one, but it's really just a minor gripe, especially compared to previous episodes. It was a good proportion, good ratio of action to talking, for sure. The action itself was good. The talking bits were good. The character moments, especially around Chen and Hoshiguma, were good. Franca, Liskarm, Texas, Exia, characters are carrying this show, honestly. I mean, as is expected of Gacha, right? Gachas are carried by the units. Nobody plays gacha for the story alone. Everybody plays it for the waifus. So makes perfect sense. Um, and as I already said, a lot of my praises for this episode have to do with the fact that I explain many things that I didn't catch while playing the game, or maybe weren't said during the game, or maybe were said, but I just didn't understand what was being talked about because walls of text that's written like someone just found a thesaurus and needed to write a school assignment with a word limit, or rather a minimum words amount, and was trying to make all sentences as run down, uh, run, run long, as long as possible, using as many lofty words as possible. Yeah, this episode really works for me. I did enjoy it, and it filled the gaps in the story, in my understanding of the story at least. And I'm looking forward to the next one. I know how it's going to end, but I'm still looking forward to the delivery method, so to speak, because this episode surprised me positively. So future episodes um, might surprise me positively as well, and I'm all in for it. And I'm all in for an announcement of season 2. Should season 2 be announced, probably will be. Maybe not directly after season 1 ends, but sometime in the future. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I don't think I have anything more to say on the topic of this episode. So we're just gonna end it here. I'm gonna get some throat lozenge or something like that. So yeah, maybe you have something more to say. However, uh, do so in the comments down below. Say what did you think about this episode, my reaction, my theories, if I had any. Correct me if I was wrong somewhere. Maybe that story was presented in the game, I just don't remember it. I've no clue. No spoilers, please. As I said, I haven't finished the Longman arc myself, so don't spoil me anything past where this anime is probably headed. And also for the anime onlys that are watching this episode, maybe I'd rather they not get spoiled about the game from the comments. If you do want to talk spoilers about Arknights, though, my Discord is here. Also, link in the description. Join it. There's an Arknights channel that you can open and talk with spoilers without worrying of other people reading them, because you can use spoiler tags. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Arknights, Prelude to Dawn, but also Symphogear Axis, Gundam Witch from Mercury, Management of a Novice Alchemist, and Tensei Shitaraken Deshita. And over the Christmas, I'm gonna be watching Madoka Magica movie, and I'm probably gonna start Magia Records as well, so stay tuned for that. I also stream sometimes here on YouTube, so you might want to click the bell icon down below to be notified when I go live. Already said that. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon Throne, links in the description below. On Patreon for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonals like Madoka Magica, like Symphogear, and for just $1, you get a role on the Discord, a place in the credits, and sometimes when I have a spare episode or something, some of the seasonals are gonna be there like a day early or a week early or however much, so that's also something you get for just $1. And on Throne, you can pitch in directly towards my purchase of new gear, new software, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend money but still want to help the channel, share my content, spread the word. It helps the channel grow, and the growth of a channel matters a whole lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the list of patrons, and you can be one of them if only such is your desire.